Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Great Gibraltar Draft with Hound Dogs, and we have made it to the end of the season. There's a couple of things to show you with regards to the cup finals that we have managed to make. We have also won the league very, very comfortably, 15 points clear at the top of the table. So we're in Champions League football once again next year, or we can qualify for it. So we'll be seeing how that goes. 53 goals scored, 13 goals conceded in the whole season. Isn't too shabby at all. We've kind of got the best record for everything at this stage. With that said, let's take a look at the two cup finals and how we got on in them. So it was 0-0 in the first leg of the Pepe Reyes Cup final. There was a goal disallowed early on in the second half, I should say, for us. Actually, I think it was for Lincoln, to be honest. I can't remember because it was so long ago. Oh no, it must have been for us. Was it for us? Let's see. Yes, it was for us. Let's see how that goes. Coulson walking down the left-hand side, whipped it in. There you go. It was played out and cleared. Salafu's ball in, found in Dungala, and Romero was able to poke it in, but I think it was offside. So we didn't quite make the most of the first leg, but that wasn't a problem because the second leg came round and things certainly improved. In the second leg of the Pepe Reyes Cup final, we did change things around. We moved to our 5 at the back from our 4-3-3 that we played in the first leg, and we ran riot. 3-0 in the second half. Romero with the first one with a Chebozo cross. Saranic was able to deliver another ball in for Romero to volley home from a free kick in the 68th minute. And then in the 83rd, we were able to come forward once again to get a third goal and to wrap things up. The ball being played into Saranic, and his ball fell back to Kingsley just to tap it home. In the Intermediate League Cup final first leg, we did end up winning that one 1-0. Coming into the second half, Carroll was able to find Salafu running in on goal to make it 1-0. And in the second leg, we were able to match what we did in the second leg of the Pepe Reyes Cup, winning 3-0. A few changes in the side, though, and you may even notice a new name, Carrizo, who has signed for us, coming in and scoring in one of his first games for the club in a cup final. We were able to increase the lead, though, in the first half on the 20-minute mark as Coulson's ball in, found Carrizo again, and it found Mejia at the back post. And then finally, we did wrap things up with a third late on in the game in the 80th minute. Vitinho playing a ball through to Chebozo, who used his electrifying pace to get through on goal with the keeper, and he dinked him to make it 3-0 and 4-0 on aggregate. So that is how we got to this stage. I mean, yeah, what were some very comfortable victories in the end. Everything kind of just works. We did go through in the Intermediate League Cup on penalties in the end. It was a bit of a catastrophe, the second leg of that, but in the semi-finals. But in the end, we made it to the final, so nothing to worry about there. And it was a comfortable win in the league. Only one loss there. Very, very easy. The last game, we actually played a couple of our academy boys and a few other players. So the likes of Stuart Marks is one of our young players, and same with Stones as well. So they both came up. And I think we also brought on White as well up top for Chebozo late in the game. Comfortable 2-0 win. Nothing to worry about there. Romero with 2 goals, which was nice to see. You may also notice a few more players that we have signed as well. Looking at that, you can see we could have a look at both ins and outs because there has been a couple of outs as well, which future couple as well. Let's talk about them first. Ivan Rangel has left us. A quality central midfielder he was for us. I'm gutted to see him go, to be honest. He's already played the same amount of games as he played for us in the Ukraine Premier Division for Dnipro. 2.6 million. We made a profit on him, so that's good. And I mean, he's playing very well for them, so no surprise that they did want him because he's a very good player. Now, we have also brought in a couple of other players. Now, one of those players being Vebjorn As from Stabæk. He's a centre-half / centre midfielder that I brought in. We'll probably look to play him more as a cover player at central defence. Just because he's not great at heading, I'll be honest. He's 5'11". Hopefully he might grow up to 6 foot, which will be nice because, you've always got that weird thing about having 6 foot centre halves. But he looks very promising, already looks a very good player, great bravery. So I think we've got a good player in there. We signed him for £2 million, so it is a lot of money that we've spent on him, but so far so good. He's looked very good. Franco Carrizo from Lanús for 850k. We're training him to be a wing back. because I think he could be a decent one. We wouldn't need him to be very defensive. He's not awful for a winger. He's not great. He's not fullback, is he? But I think going forward, that dribbling and first touch would be great. If we can develop his crossing as well, some nice technique, so definitely could do, and some great work rate and teamwork means he can get up and down on that right-hand side. And he's already scored for us, so he's got that in his locker as well. Transfer centre-wise, we can see, though, there are a few transfers that have been made. We obviously saw Fausto Vera. He is joining us at the end of the season from Aston Villa on a free, which is good. Carlson and Erahon have both been bidded on, but we're not letting that happen. Ethan and Munston Day is going to Songdal. I tried to offer him another contract just because I thought we'd need another centre-half next year. Turns out we don't. He went anyway. Not too bothered. That's fine. And the other one is Gabriel Vinicius off to Hibernian. He's one I did try and keep hold of, but unfortunately he just wasn't having any of it and was going. I thought he could develop into something a little special with that in that central attacking midfield role. But in the end, not quite what we needed. So with that said, let's jump to the season review and take a look at how everything went down. And here we are then, 3 trophies. We've won everything domestically. It's only European competition that we're missing out on now, which hopefully one day we might be able to get something from. But we can take a look at our transfers in. A few here that we can see. Ursu's probably the worst one. Reece White, I'm okay with. He did get subbed on at the end of the season. Carrizo, Soler, Langley, Saranic. Again, all these players I think will develop quite nicely. Pedro Oliveira, they're not happy with him. Paying over the odds for the player. I think he'll turn out good. We'll see. We'll see if I'm right or they're right. Obviously, there are lots of players that left us on a free, as well as transfers. So we've got Daniel Dumbravanu. He went off to Sheriff in the end. Rangel, we saw. Pambu off to St. Malo in the end. Cincialo, we sold to Lynx, of course. Bonner, Pereira de Sá, unfortunately, left as well. Pelivan, Waldenberg, Daniels and Dye. Emmerling is another one. I don't know. I can't remember if I told you about him, but he's gone. Casanova off to Chesterfield. Bareback to Minaj. Naja to Red Star. Duffy to Hamilton. Darren Kavanagh to Mons Kalp. And Gustav Grubb to Spezia. Loans out. We did get a couple of loans out. Adil Elhamer. He's hopefully going to come into the side next season. See how he gets on. Thomas Thurn wanted game time, so I gave him game time at another club, at St. Joseph, because I don't want to lose him, to be quite honest. I think he could be a decent centre-half for us. And Ethan Erahon, I think he's going to be bigger for us this season. He's only came in and played a few games for us before we loaned him out again because he wanted game time. But because we've got a lot of players that have left us now, we'll probably need him a little bit more. Lynx have been randomly chosen over Mons Kalp after both teams finished 29 points on the same record. Well, that's very nice, isn't it? What a coinky dink. And they've also got a better goal difference, so it's a bit weird. But there you go. Looks very good this season. Only the one loss to Lynx in the end, which was a bit of a shame, really, because they finished 6th. They weren't even a title contender or anything. Maximilia Romero, top goal scorer, though. European Champions League. We did all right. I'd take it. We beat Lyon twice and drew against Man United. I think the board are pretty happy with how we've done in the group stage. The Europa League, I'm gutted. We lost to Dynamo Kiev. We looked really good in the first half. It happens. It happens. Winner, though, of the Pepe Reyes Cup and Gibraltar Intermediate League Cup, so no concerns there. We've done those very, very easily. Beating Astana was our biggest win, 5-0. Dirasuba Salafu getting the hat-trick there. A 1-1 draw against them is a match to remember to get us through. And then, of course, goal of the season went to Chibozo. Finances, we can see Romero being the top sales. Chibozo, Salafu, Saranic and Soler. Soler's an interesting one. Wouldn't have expected him. But, hey, he's been pretty decent for us this season. Sponsorship-wise, we had very little. Same with broadcast revenue. I don't know what's quite happened there. But competition prize money has gone up. I guess that's maybe because we got to the Europa League round, so that's good nonetheless. This is the lineup that we were best with. I'd probably agree with that. I don't think there's much I'd disagree with there, to be quite honest. Carroll, not quite as good as last year, but we'll see how he gets on in the next few years. I'm sure he'll develop well. Man's Player of the Year, Xavier Mbayamba. probably agree with that. He's been very, very solid for us at the back. Young player of the season, Saranic. He's also signing of the season. Goal of the season, Jaboza, as we saw. Top goal scorer, Romero. Some good little results in here. We got manager of the month a couple of times as well, so that's good. Add them to our trophy cabinet. Youngest player, Brandon Stones, 16 years old and 300 days. So he came in the last game, played the full 90, which was nice to see, and we won 2-0. So he might get a few more game times next season in the league. Maximilia Romero, mostly goals by a player and most league appearances by a player. So he's really running the show for us. He's been here a while now, so hopefully he can continue. Most clean sheets, Al Diaby, which is great. Maximilia Romero is just kind of everywhere. Highest transfer fee paid and received. So, they're pretty much the same, only about 50k off. But there you go, 3 titles this year in Gibraltar. It's kind of what we expect now. It's now looking to Europe and seeing if we can get that done or anything in Europe achieved within the next few years before the 15-year mark, and then see how things proceed. But with that said, we will leave it there. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure you leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and of course, I will catch you in the next one.